I can't hear nothing. Ready to go, Bri? All right. Welcome, everybody, to our show, Haunting the Afterlife Radio. I am your host, Suzie, and with me are my two fabulous hosts. Hang on, I gotta mute, guys. That was weird. Anyways, and with me are my two fabulous hosts, Brian and Lisa. How are you guys tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to see y'all again. Since I just was doing a move.
Because you just bought a house, Brian. You must be tired.
It was a tough move. I moved during the week while the wife was at work and got everything over, and now it's just slowly putting the house together.
Well, I hope you're enjoying it, and I definitely hope that you enjoy it in the future and it works out awesome for you guys.
Yeah, congratulations.
And I'll post a little walkthrough tour everything of the house after we get it kind of in some sort of shape.
Awesome, Bri. Sounds good. So, who is ready for our last show of the year? Tonight, yours truly presents Behind the Scenes with Ghost Adventures at Virginia City's Union Brewery. And Lisa Hawkins presents an investigation reveal of the super haunted Gold Hill Hotel and Miners Lodge. Prepare for some creepily amazing videos and still images. So turn down your lights, hold on to something dear, and prepare. Before we get started, It's because there's music playing on the video.
Oh.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and start off with Union Brewery.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm hearing like an echo coming from somewhere. I don't know a whole lot about Union Brewery. All I do really know is that it's one of the first breweries in Virginia City. It did survive 2 fires in the 1800s. It has been relocated one time. It is the oldest operating saloon in Virginia City. Brian, do you have anything you want to add to any of that? Hi, Nikki B.
Well, I just put up the plaque from the Union Brewery. They gave a little bit of information about it being destroyed with the fires, and twice actually. And they are the one of the oldest breweries, if not the oldest, still operational brewery there in Virginia City.
As many times as I've been to Virginia City, growing up here in Reno, Nevada, I've never been inside of the Union Brewery. So, and I haven't heard a lot about the sort of hauntings that have been going on there. But for some reason, I did find out a few weeks ago that Ghost Adventures was there filming. And I asked one of my friends why they would be there filming. And apparently, there's been a lot of paranormal activity going on in the Union Brewery. And apparently, according to a medium, there's actually a portal there. So that would explain why Ghost Adventures went out there. I guess the owner, whose name is Dawn, wanted to reach out to Ghost Adventures because she had been experiencing a lot of activity there. Her and her husband, I guess her husband passed away, but before he passed away, they were both experiencing a lot of activity there. So they reached out to Janice Oberding, and she's very good friends with Ghost Adventures. And so she got in contact with Ghost Adventures, and that's why they were filming out there a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I actually think a few years back when I was still living in Reno, my parents came up and had a visit with me, and we took them to Virginia City. And I think we actually stopped at this brewery and had drinks, and they make a really mean Bloody Mary.
Oh, nice. Maybe I'll have to check it out then. Well, I'm definitely interested in checking it out in the near future now that Ghost Adventures was there filming. And, I actually got to kind of be behind the scenes with them while they were filming out there. And I did notice that as soon as they started filming and as soon as they started going into the building, they started to take it very seriously. And Zach actually came out with his mask on. And he didn't really have a whole lot of time for pictures or conversation because something was going on in there.
Wow, that's interesting.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for the picture to come up on the screen. I have a lag, so.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to come up also.
Well, while we wait, we'll talk a little bit about some of the activity that goes on in the Union Brewery, according to Dawn, the current owner. So, back when her husband was still alive and they first bought the Union Brewery, um, some of the activity included like phones and other devices draining. People such as electricians and plumbers and stuff coming in would feel extremely sick after being there for like 30 minutes, and they wouldn't want to come back in the building. Dawn herself noted that she was feeling or smelling sulfur. Her husband, who was never a believer until they owned the brewery, became a believer and said that he noticed things being moved and thrown around. And if you watch my friend's documentary, who I will post a link to the documentary here in a minute, you will actually see pictures of apparitions that are caught on the second floor of the Union Brewery. They're thinking it could have been Mark Twain, his apparition, because he used to write from the Union Brewery.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put in Paul Welch's link to the documentary. So if you guys want to know more about the Union Brewery, you can watch his documentary here. It's very fascinating, amazing documentary. So as you guys are seeing on the live screen right now are some of the pictures that I took when I was behind the scenes with Ghost Adventures. I don't even know how to start this out. It was a lot of fun being there. I didn't expect for them to allow my daughters and I to stay there with them and to take pictures with them. So that was really nice. So basically how it started was a little birdie messaged me at like midnight that Ghost Adventures was going to be in Virginia City filming at the Union Brewery. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
So when I found that out, of course, my daughter Zoe, who you see in the picture, she is a huge fan of Ghost Adventures, and being that her birthday was coming up, I decided I would wing it, pick her up from school, and take her to Virginia City to possibly maybe view them filming and capture some pictures. I didn't expect that her and my younger one, who's also in the picture there, would be able to actually meet them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a picture of Billy and my daughter Zoe. If you guys have any questions at all about Ghost Adventures and like what it's like to see them filming or how they were like, how they represented themselves, just ask.
What?
Should I tell them about the like how it all went down?
Yeah.
So basically, I picked up my daughters from school, and on a whim, we decided to drive to Virginia City and kind of search Ghost Adventures out because we weren't exactly sure like where they were going to be when we got there. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Tina.
Thanks for joining us. So there you can see on the live screen some video that I was able to capture of them filming, which was really cool. So we got to Virginia City and we didn't know, like, because we drove by the Union Brewery and we didn't see anybody filming there or anything. And at that time it was about 4 o'clock. So we kind of drove around Virginia City and Gold Hill kind of looking for them for about an hour, and then finally just decided to park in front of the Union Brewery and just wait and see what happened. And it was really funny because as soon as we parked in front of the Union Brewery, guess who pulled up right in front of me?
Mr. Bagans himself.
Who?
There's one of my favorite videos of them getting set up and stuff. Yeah, so they pulled up right in front of me, and you can see that black SUV. And it was funny because the only way I knew it was them was because Aaron's head was like hanging out of the window. Yeah, I was like a little dog, like so excited, you know? And I was just freaking out. I was like, oh my God. And Zoe was freaking out even more than me, and she screamed, oh my God, that's Aaron hanging out of the window. Oh my God, they're right in front of us. It was just amazing that they pulled up in front of us. They're meant to be there and meant to have this experience. And so they pulled around and parked in front of the Union Brewery and all got out. And I was nervous, you guys, because I didn't think I was allowed to be there. I didn't think I was. So I rolled up my windows. I have very dark tinted windows. And I rolled up my windows. So I didn't want them to see us, Claire. I didn't know, like, we were supposed to be there. And so we were kind of like creepers at first. And Zoe was, you know, I had the window like cracked, and Zoe was I told Zoe, take some video and stuff, and she's like, Mom, I feel like a creeper. And I'm like, yeah, me too, but I don't know if we're supposed to be here, but I'm not moving because this is the perfect spot.
That was funny because you were texting me the whole time and I kept telling you, just get out of the car, go get pictures, and you were scared.
I was like, no, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. They might, if they know I'm here, they might ask me to move and leave, you know, and I didn't want to leave. So we stayed in the car for a little while and just kind of watched what was going on. And then this lady comes walking across the street up to my window, and she owns one of the stores there next to the Union Brewery. And she goes, what are you doing in your car? Get out of your car. Stop being a creeper. And I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. And she goes, they don't mind if you're here. Just get out of your car and they'll take pictures with you. They won't mind if you're here. It'll be fine. So at that point we decided we were going to get out of the car and it would be fine. And it was. And they allowed us to stay there. They allowed us to film, take pictures. It was amazing, really. I mean, I didn't ever think that would happen. Really.
Well, that's awesome. It was probably meant to be.
I wish you could have been there, Lisa. That would have been just. We stayed there for about 3 hours.
Yeah, you were there for a while.
It was just so much fun, and I wanted to share the experience with everybody. And after they kind of started filming and got situated and got everything set up, that was when Billy came out and started talking to some of the fans and doing autographs and stuff. And then that same lady, and I can't remember her name, she said, you need to go over there and talk to Billy right now. you're being too shy. And I go, well, I just don't want to be in their way. I don't want to, be a problem. And she goes, no, just go over there. And so we did, and Billy was super awesome and took a very nice picture with Zoe and was also talking just with all the fans. There weren't a whole lot of people there because I don't think a lot of people knew they were going to be there. But he was very happy to just talk with people and hang out. And then we continued to wait because we definitely wanted to try and get Zoe pictures with Zach and Aaron. So we just continued to wait and watch, what was going on behind the scenes and stuff. And then finally Aaron came running out and really wanted to take pictures with the kids. Now, it was just really my kids, and then this one other lady had her kid there. And so he was more than happy to take pictures with the kids. And he was really nice, even though he was super busy. He had to run across the street at least 3 different times to and interfere with his filming in order to take pictures with all the kids. We never did get a picture with Zach. Unfortunately. Zach was very focused, I think. Do we have that video, Brian, of Zach doing his walk?
Doing his walk?
Yeah. You guys know the walk at the beginning of every show that he films. He does that walk into the building. I think I put that in the folder there.
Is this one it?
No. That's just them filming.
You're kind of blurry. Kind of sad. Do they look blurry to you?
I might not have. Let's see if I got the. If I can put in real quick.
That's my favorite video. I love seeing them filming. I learned so much from watching them film.
This is crazy.
But there's this one video that I took, and it's of Zach doing. Oh, there it is. Him doing his walk.
I'll put it on loop.
And I'm telling you guys, it's so funny watching them film because he retook that like 25 times.
Hey, everything's got to be perfect.
Yeah, it does. And I posted some of these videos and pictures last week, and I got a lot of really positive comments, but also some negative about Zach, like walking like a thug, and about what it's like to be filming at a location. And a lot of people are really skeptical of not just Ghost Adventures, but any paranormal team that does filming.
Right.
And being that our team, the Mystery Gang, has been filmed in a documentary, well, a paranormal episode, I get that just because you have to film and make things perfect doesn't mean that you're faking things.
Right.
Because a lot of people were like, oh, look at him, doing this. It's just for the camera. They're just a bunch of fakers. They're not necessarily fakers just because they have to make things perfect for filming. What do you think about that, Lisa? Because you were part of our filming with Paul Welch.
I would have to agree that it's not always faking. I mean, it might be out there in some places, but I know when we were filming at the abandoned hospital. I know I was pretty self-conscious while being filmed. I didn't want to make any mistakes. I wanted it to be just right. I want to do things that are going to grab viewers' attention, something that's going to keep them interested.
Yeah, so certain things can be staged. Like, for instance, Lisa, like when we were filming with Paul Welch, a lot of us we did our interviews with Paul Welch, and a lot of us probably would have liked it to be redone a few times for perfection, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
that would have been part of the staged process.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that doesn't make anything else within whatever you're watching, whether it's a documentary or an episode of something, doesn't mean that anything's being faked.
Exactly.
So yeah, people were kind of making fun of the fact that Zach was walking back and forth a million times, but he just wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the whole time I was there watching all of this happen, they were all taking everything very seriously. I wasn't allowed to go inside, but from what they were doing outside, it didn't seem like anything was being faked or anything like that. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? There's Erin again, giving my daughter Zoe a fist bump. And then a weird Orby thing on Erin's jacket. I talked to Jen about that orb on his jacket. She thinks it could be a bug, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Who knows?
It was pretty cold, but there could have been a bug flying. I don't know, or it could be a dust particle. But some viewers brought it to my attention. They were like, "Oh, look at that orb on Erin." Aaron was so amazing, you guys. He really is. Like, everybody talks about him being so nice and then goofy at the same time. He just loved taking pictures with the kids.
That's awesome.
So what do you think, Fry? Do you have any questions, Fry?
No. I kind of think it's funny how they're all bundled up except for your daughter.
I know, right? So Zoe's all wearing shorts.
Kids can handle the cold better than adults sometimes.
But my car was right there where they took the picture, and I had my heater on, so Leia kept taking off her jacket. Leia, I love this picture of Leia because she doesn't even realize she's standing next to a celebrity. Look at Leia. She's trying to be the celebrity. The way she's posing.
She's definitely a poser in all her pictures, but she's just so adorable.
Yeah, so guys, that's really about it as far as my presentation goes. Like I said, if you have any questions about Ghost Adventures, ask me. Like I said, I was there for about 3 hours, and it was just so much fun. And I not only got to meet them, but I got to meet a lot of really cool other people from Virginia City. So it was just a really fun, amazing time, and I do not regret it at all. This is what a mother will do to make her daughter happy for her birthday. She will stalk down Ghost Adventures, and that's what I did. So mother's love, guys. But what started out as just trying to stalk them down actually turned into much, much more, and it was amazing. So Like I said, I learned a lot about them. I learned a lot about how they film, what they do, all kinds of stuff. So it was really fun.
That's cool that you had a great time with them. It's good to actually see that Billy and Aaron took the time out to sign the autographs and take pictures and stuff.
Yeah, it was really cute with Aaron. So a lot of us, we had to move across the street from the Union Brewery to give room for them to set up their equipment. So, and that's where I was parked. So we moved across the street back to over by my car. And it was really cute because Aaron would run out of the building and they run across the street and be like, who wants to take a picture with me? I only got 1 second. And then, you know, he'd take a picture with a kid and then he'd go, okay, I got to get back to filming, but I'll be right back. Just give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. And then he'd run back in and do some filming. And then about 2 minutes later, he'd be right back across the street trying to take pictures.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then Billy was just pretty much hanging out in front of their black SUV all night, just talking with people and signing autographs and stuff. So
That's cool. That's cool.
So yeah, it was nice because you always wonder, you know, you hear all of these bad things about Ghost Adventures. You hear good things, but then you also hear bad things, and so you kind of wonder what's real and what's not real. And that's what I loved about meeting them, is that I was able to see that a lot of the stuff that you hear is false. You know?
Yeah.
Lori says she's at the hospital working and listening to us. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, BC is awesome. We have the luxury of being able to go there whenever we want, pretty much, as long as the weather's good, because it's only like 20 minutes away from Reno, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only really treacherous road would be Geiger Grade. And this road has been notorious for accidents during the wintertime and even the summertime. And if it is anywhere a bit snowy, you're going to have ice on Geiger Grade because of the way it's situated coming down the mountain. If you wanted to get up there during the wintertime, the best way would be going through Carson City up to down Highway 50, and then going up to going through Gold Hill, and then into Virginia City.
Yeah, that would be the safest way.
It's a little longer and everything, but it's really safe, except for that really hairpin turn up by the logging area.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do have the luxury of, even if it's icy and snowing on Geiger Grade heading up, we can always go through the other way, like Brian just said. So Lisa and I tend to spend a lot of time in Virginia City and Gold Hill, which is just a neighboring town right there next to Virginia City. I mean, how many times have we gone there in just the last year, Lisa?
A lot. And it's always been like a different adventure when we go.
Like we literally just went to Gold Hill to mess around with Lisa's drone she just got, and then also collect some crystals from over by the Yellow Jacket mine.
Yep.
So.
And not only that, I mean, there's a lot of different locations that are haunted in Virginia City, and even outside of Virginia City. 6 Mile Canyon is haunted by I believe, a bank robber. He robbed one of the banks there in Virginia City, I believe, and tried to escape down 6 Mile Canyon and hid the gold out there. And so supposedly there's gold buried somewhere between Virginia City and Highway 50 down 6 Mile Canyon.
Yeah, gotta love that whole area. It's just somewhere where you can go all the time and just hang out and just experience the way that the West was, because pretty much every building there is preserved and the same. And as you can see in this picture with Aaron and my girls, the boardwalk there is still the same as
Yes.
it was.
Oh yeah, and they have gunfights during the weekends. They have a gunfight show, a Western show. They have numerous activities there in Virginia City. They have the 4th of July parade. They have Veterans Day parade. The VFW is actually right there in one of the casinos on C Avenue. But you also got to think about it. It's also a tourist town, so prices are going to be a little more elevated. But they've got really good food. They've got great beef jerky. They have one store that I love going into. Is they had the different candies that you no longer see in regular stores, and the same thing with sodas. So
The
yeah,
Mercantile, right?
yeah, it's they're great little stores and stuff, and the people there are just absolutely friendly. If you like really good Bloody Marys, you got the Union Brewery, you got the Red Dog Saloon right across the street from it, and they have a really good Bloody Mary also. It actually has a piece of bacon as a garnish in it. Plus, they have really great pizza there. You can ask Suzie.
I was just gonna say, speaking of Red Dog, my favorite
that place
pizza
is
in the whole
amazing.
world. Yeah.
There's another little store there that makes probably the best fudge that I've ever had, and they've got the candy barrel that has over 20 different flavors of saltwater taffy.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And another thing too, a lot of their shops there where they have clothing, it's all handmade
Yes.
by the people who live there. So I've gotten a lot of really beautiful dresses, handmade. So it's just amazing. So I hope you guys someday get to visit Virginia City and Gold Hill. I know, Justin, you keep talking about coming, and I hope you can. Oh, look, it's Paul. Hi, Paul. Paul, we just got done talking about you, and I put your link to your documentary in the chat. I'm gonna put it up again.
Also, they've got a coffee roaster there in Virginia City that they actually roast their own beans and have their own different bags that you can buy. They serve a great breakfast there. I always love going up for the parades and the fireworks. They put on awesome shows. So yeah, if you ever get a chance, it's one of these towns that you'd have to put on your bucket list to go see and experience. And and it actually takes you back in time because, like they said, the buildings are original. Well, except the ones that burnt down. But yeah, the sidewalks are actually wooden planks and everything, and it's an awesome, awesome place.
Yes.
Nikki B, you have to make it there and try their pizza. It is the
Oh,
most
yes,
amazing
yes.
pizza. I mean, the cheese just melts right off every slice. Oh gosh. No, I need some. I need some.
And their
Oh, no.
garlic fries. Garlic fries are good.
Oh yeah,
I
you're
haven't had
absolutely right.
theirs. I haven't
Uh,
had it.
They do serve more than just pizza there at
Yeah.
Red Dog Saloon. Yeah,
I had
believe-
some of their shrimp and stuff, but I've never had their garlic fries, I don't think. Hi, Blues Player. It's been a while.
Yeah, hi Blues. Yeah, if you want barbecue, go to the other side of town. They have a really good barbecue place, and you can get some really amazing jerky there also.
I wish I would have had some money when Lisa and I were there the other day. Like, I really wanted to stop and get some beef jerky.
Oh yeah, their beef jerky is great.
Yeah, and I know, Paul, they serve more than pizza at Red Dogs. What's your favorite, Paul?
He likes their Irish nachos.
Which I've never had. I have to try.
I'm pretty sure it's the Irish nachos.
I think so. I think that's what he's always talking about. See, yeah, Irish nachos. That's what he just said.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, Red Dogs isn't just about the pizza. Pretty much everything that I've had there is just freaking phenomenal.
They have good salad, and their chicken strips are good as well.
But anyways, for all of you peeps coming in, I was just going over the Union Brewery and how I and my daughters actually got to be behind the scenes with Ghost Adventures for about 3 hours and got to meet Aaron and Billy and take pictures and some video of them working behind the scenes, which was really cool, and I learned a lot. And I know Zoe was in shock for days after getting to meet Aaron and Billy. So Paul says the corn dogs are good also. But that's pretty much a wrap on my presentation. I'm going to again put Paul Welch's documentary link in here so you guys can watch a little bit of his documentary about the Union Brewery where Ghost Adventures was filming. Now, I also want to tell you guys that they also filmed the Bonanza. So I don't know when this is all going to be aired, but I'm going to be definitely watching it, and we'll keep you guys updated as soon as we hear something. But I'm going to be looking for my car.
You said they were filming in the Bonanza saloon up there?
Yeah, they were. So they spent like
a week.
Yeah, because, oh gosh, Lisa, when we were up at Gold Hill looking at the quartz
Looking
and
for
all that,
crystals.
yeah, and then we were driving down. I told Zoe, I go, isn't that Ghost Adventures car still parked outside of the Union Brewery? That was like 3 or 4 days after. They were still there. And so, yeah, and then I found out from Doug, who does the Paracon, the Virginia City Paracon, that he actually filmed with them at the Bonanza. When was that, Lisa? Was that
last Thursday?
Yeah, so they were there for quite some time.
Yeah, because they got into town, I believe, the Sunday before. So, yeah, they were there for a week.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just glad that we got to witness all that going on, and we're able to share with all of you guys, let you know that Ghost Adventures are good peeps.
Yes.
They're good peeps. Although Zach didn't have time to take pictures, I'm not going to say he's a bad guy for not taking pictures. He was just really focused and busy, in my opinion. you know.
Yeah.
That's just the kind of person he is. He cares a lot about his shows and stuff like that. So, but yeah, again, Aaron and Billy were amazing when it came to meeting the fans, especially the kids. That was very, very important to them. So, being all that said, let's move on to Lisa's presentation. The Gold Hill Hotel and Miners Lodge, with a specific emphasis on the Miners Lodge. We're going to have some pictures from other people within the other investigators within the mystery gang as well. So we'll just wing it from here.
I'm glad we're just going to wing it.
Well, maybe we can start out with like a little bit of history on the Gold Hill Hotel and the Miners Lodge / cabin.
Well, I've got a picture of the Gold Hill Hotel and Saloon up on the screen right now. This building, actually, it's not in Virginia City. It's actually another city, an incorporated city outside of Virginia City, about 3 miles, I believe. Lovely little town. If you sneeze, you'll go through it.
Yes, it's very small.
But yeah, it's a beautiful building. And the Miners Lodge is located, from this picture, it'll be to the rear and to the left of the building. And then the Yellow Jacket Mine is actually behind, or one of the entrances to the Yellow Jacket Mine is behind the Miners Lodge. And then there's another one up the hill a little bit.
Yes. And that's where Suzie and I were at Sunday when we went to look for crystals, was up at the other entrance to the Yellow Jacket Mine, up and behind the Gold Hill.
Actually, from what I've been told and everything, is you can actually see apparitions of miners going to and from both of the entrances to the mines.
Very interesting.
I think we might actually have a picture from Jen that could maybe be a miner.
And this is the Miners Lodge.
Yes.
You can actually see this structure behind it. I'm trying to place it. Yeah, because there's another building out there that's the same metal and everything, or same shape and stuff.
Yeah, that building is actually to the left of this one when you're looking
Right.
at the picture. Yes.
That's where all the groundskeepers' equipment's at.
Yes.
But if you look at the building now, the little area that has the dark door with the little sign on it, that actually was an add-on to the building. The original entrance was behind that little add-on. And that's where you would get a lot of light anomalies coming through that door and into the room. And they changed that into a bedroom. The second 2 windows with it looks like bars on them.
Yeah.
That actually is the little dining area in the kitchen. And I believe there's another window down a little bit further, and that was the foreman's office. This, I believe, is a bar in the hotel. Oh, I didn't transition it over. Sorry.
I was like, where is
That's
it?
all right. Yeah.
Yeah, where did this way?
This bar is amazing. The lady that was actually there that night when we went in to just do some exploring, the Gold Hill is actually in transition to be sold to someone else. I don't remember the name of the people that are buying it, but they will be taking down all that money that's throughout the bar. Yes, the Gold Hill is for sale and the sale is pending.
That is crazy because new owners just bought it like a few years ago.
Are they going to still continue to allow paranormal investigators into the Gold Hill Hotel?
That I don't know. I didn't get any information on that. I just know that there's new owners and they'll be taking down all the money, and the donations are going to a good cause there in the town. She didn't get into specifics.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
I wonder what some of the oldest dates on that money are.
Yeah, it would suck if they did not allow any investigators to go up there, because this is definitely a hot spot. Not only that, they've got a lot of old antiques in the restaurant, and the environment, it's welcoming, and it's just an amazing place to be.
Blues Player says they can send the cash to me, and then Lori says that is sad actually, and I'm going to agree with Lori. I think that's very sad. They're going to take all that down.
There's another location in Nevada that has something, well, has the exact same thing, the money tacked everywhere. And they have really great hamburgers. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's called Middlegate. It's I think it has two gas pumps. It has a restaurant, and part of the restaurant's a store and a bar. And it's leaving out of Reno, and you go down Highway 50, and it's just this little town. Been there quite a few times. But yeah, this is the restaurant. As you can see, it's not a big restaurant, bar area, but there are quite a few antiques. That piano in the background on the right-hand side of the screen, and it looks like that's another piano on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A little grand piano, a baby grand, maybe.
I think so.
And
So for those of you that haven't been to the Gold Hill Hotel, I don't know much history on it myself. I actually went there for the first time with Suzie and Willow Paranormal at the beginning of the year. We got to investigate rooms 4 and 5. 4 is known as Rosie's room, not to be confused with the Rosie from Silver Queen. And room 5 was William's room. I do not know any history on the stories and who William or Rosie are, but there's definitely activity in that hotel.
I did put Willow Paranormal's Facebook page in the chat just right now. Willow Paranormal have been amazing at always allowing us to investigate with them when they love Gold Hill. So.
Oh yeah, Gold Hill is one of my favorite locations. Just because of all the personal experiences that I've had there investigating. We did an overnighter there, if you remember, and we had our teams broke up into two groups, and you were doing the
Silver Queen.
Yeah, you're doing the Silver Queen, and I was me and my son were doing the Miners Lodge along with two other, I guess, guest investigators with us.
Yep.
But yeah, I love the place. It's the people were great and stuff. Never got to eat there though.
Yeah, me neither.
Me neither.
And this actually looks like a shot from the entrance or the road going up to the second mine shaft, and that overlooks the Miners Lodge.
Lisa, did you take that picture?
I did. I took that picture on Sunday when we were up there because I just thought it was a great view and thought it would be great to share on the show.
When I saw that picture, I was like, holy cow, that's amazing. How in the hell did you get up there?
There's actually a road that goes up there.
Well, Susie's car made it there because that's where we were looking for crystals, is right up behind the miner's cabin.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yes, that's where we were at on Sunday, is one of the entrances to the Yellow Jacket mine.
But I didn't see that view.
Well, because you weren't paying attention.
I was cold. I was cold.
So if you actually look at the photograph, I can actually kind of explain a little bit on it. The building off to the right side of the picture is the caretaker's shed. That's where he stores all of his tools and lawnmowers and stuff. And the concrete structure towards the hill, that actually was the head end. That's where they would raise and lower the elevators going down into the mine. And there was lights on it from what I heard, and whistles or bells. And the number of bell rings or whistle blows signified whether the basket was coming up or down and how many individuals were in the basket. The building that's in the center, that's actually the Miners Lodge. That was the basically the changing room for the miners, and the foreman was in the Miners Lodge closer to the left side of the building. So now they've broken into basically two bedrooms, one on each side of the building, with a small little kitchen and dining area, and the bathrooms and showers in the center of the building. And it's a great little place to investigate. They do have internet out there to it, so you can actually hook up your Wi-Fi and stuff if you want to. And then the main hotel would be, it's actually situated off to the left side of the picture. But it's yeah, a great little place. I believe the hotel also owns that little house on the opposite side of the road. It's a little 2-bedroom house that you can rent.
Yeah, the 2-story. That's the brewery lodge.
Yeah, the little white building across the street that you see across from the parking lot.
Which is supposedly super haunted as well.
It is haunted. It's very active. The kitchen at the brewery lodge, we had a lot of things happen there when I was with another team, and actually I had some experiences upstairs in the brewery lodge in the first bedroom to the right.
All right, guys. Well, we're coming up to the top of the hour, so we need to take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
This would be a great time to break because it's lunch today.
It's lunch today. Great picture, Lisa. So yeah, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Lisa more about what really like went on, especially with the Yellow Jacket mine fire, and why this place is as haunted as it is. And we've got some awesome videos for you guys, some more awesome pictures and everything. So don't go away. You won't want to miss the rest of the show. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to Haunting the Afterlife Radio. We are having an exciting show of the Wild West. I started off talking about my behind-the-scenes footage with Ghost Adventures at the brewery, the Union Brewery in Virginia City, and now we are talking about the Gold Hill Hotel and Miner's Cabin, starring Lisa. So, before we get started with Lisa's presentation, I just want to note that the Mystery Gang has been investigating the Gold Hill Hotel and the Miners Lodge for quite some time.
Yeah.
So we do have plenty of videos and all kinds of stuff going over the last, God, how many years, Brian? Like, when did we first when did we first investigate the Gold Hill? That was like, what, 2000?
Let's see,
12?
12 or 13, yeah, something like that when we first started. And yeah, trying to get into the place is tough to actually book a room to stay, because there's a lot of people that come up to Gold Hill and to Virginia City. So trying to book your room needs to be like, God, almost a year in advance.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
we would just happen to be lucky to get this this location 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, so over the years, the Mystery Gang has been able to investigate several different times. So we're going to show you a lot of different stuff. But first, Lisa, can you give us a little bit of history of what you know about the Miners Lodge there?
So, between the Miner's Cabin and the Yellow Jacket Mine, why this is considered a haunted location is back in April 7th of 1869, a fire had actually broke out in the Yellow Jacket Mine. Some say it was at 900-foot level, others have said at 800. It doesn't really matter because this fire was so horrendous. It took the lives of 35 miners. And it was said that they only found, from what I read, they only recovered about 11. And that could be incorrect with all the articles that are out there, but a lot of the miners were not found. And there's actually a couple miners that were involved in the fire. I don't have the names right now, but the one made it out. He eventually ended up dying, I think the next day. And one of the other miners, it was 2 brothers, James and George Bickle, who were caught in that fire. And as George was trying to lift his brother up out of the mine and out of the fire, the jagged timbers had actually decapitated his brother James and ripped off his arm. And I guess he ended up staying behind, but George ended up dying the next day as well.
That just gave me chills when you explained all that. Yeah, the Yellow Jacket mine fire actually spread throughout like 2 other mines. It was so bad. Yeah.
It did. It went to Kentucky Mine and Crown Point, I believe, and that fire burned for several days. And there was nothing that anybody could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rescuers actually tried to get to the miners from the 2 or 3 other mine shafts that came close to the Yellow Jacket mine, but it got too risky for them to get into the Yellow Jacket because of all the timbers were burnt, and it would risk their own lives. So they actually basically buried the remainder of the miners in that mine, and they closed the Yellow Jacket mine. And this is the picture on the screen now is actually, like I said, the head end of the mine where they were raising and lowering the basket to for the miners to go in and out of the mine. From what I remember doing research is the fire actually started during a shift change. A miner forgot to blow out his candle, and it actually was what caused the heavy timbers to catch on fire. And by the time they knew about it, it was already way too late. And like Lisa was saying, that the fire started out either around at the 900-foot level or the 800-foot level. And either way, it was a very, very detrimental fire, not only for the loss of lives, but for the loss of gold. It would have cost a lot more to go in and recover everything than what it was worth. And I actually had one of my personal experiences looking at this head end. We were doing an investigation. We had taken a break. We had driven down to a store and gotten drinks and stuff, and came back up to the miners' lodge. And I was outside just kind of grounding myself and getting ready to go back in and do more investigating, when I saw this structure was lighting up, but on the left side. The miners' lodge itself is on the right side of this picture, or would have been on the right side of this picture, but it was lighting up on the left side. And at first I thought somebody was just taking pictures of it, and the flash was causing it to light up. And I noticed it started developing a pattern. It was like every 30 seconds it would light up. And I said, okay, well, it's just the light from a municipal airport. And then I had to debunk that, because there are mountains or hills to the left side of the structure, and there are hills across the street on the right side of this structure. And so it couldn't have been an airport. And if anybody's been driving at night, they've seen municipal airports with the green and white lights. And I noticed that it was just white lights. And I sat there and I watched this for a good 10 minutes and didn't hear any sounds or anything, and totally spaced out that I had DVR cameras inside the miners' lodge that I could have taken out to film this and got it on film. So the next morning, as we were all packing up, getting ready to go home, I saw the caretaker and I asked him about it. And he said, yeah, that during the operation of the mine, that they would light lights on the structure with little shutters.
Wow.
And the shutters were set to open every 30 seconds. And that would signify to the miners that were above ground that the basket is being either lowered or brought up. And then the bells and whistles would signify how many miners were either in that basket being transported. So I thought that was quite interesting, and I want to go back and actually see if I could capture that phenomena on video.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing, Brian.
It is.
Yeah. And what's really funny about it, when we were there, the leg closest to the miner's lodge actually has a yellow jacket nest in it. And there were yellow jackets flying everywhere during the day. And of course, they don't fly at night. So we had to be really, really careful when we were by that structure.
Yeah, I sure do remember that.
That there's still a nest at that structure too.
I wonder if the nugget of fool's gold is still located in the miner's lodge. When we were there, we took trigger objects. We took some whiskey with a couple shot glasses, and we took a couple nuggets of iron, or a couple iron pyrite nuggets, and we're using that as trigger objects. And so when we decided to go ahead and pack up and leave, we actually hid a iron pyrite nugget in the miner's lodge. And this has been, I've been in Corpus now for 3 years. So I would figure 6-7 years ago that we hid this nugget in them. And I don't know if they found it or not yet.
Wow.
But this is this would have been the back bedroom, and was where the foreman would have had his office at.
Yep.
Thanks to Lisa for these pictures.
Huh. I love pictures.
You are amazing at photography, girly. I love it.
Yeah, these photographs are just wonderful.
Yeah, so that's the back room.
So you'll have to tell me about this.
I'll let you do that, Lisa.
Okay, so with the Black Witch to the right, I don't know the history on that. It belongs to Willow Paranormal. Apparently, at one time, this witch was white and at some point turned black. Mark briefly told me a little bit about it, but I don't remember, to be honest. I would not touch her. It gave me the creeps being up close to it. So I just kind of left it alone. The clock that you see in the picture is the original clock from the Sally house, the real Sally house.
So I just sorry to interrupt you. I just put Willow Paranormal's link in the chat again. Now, just to clear things up, they did invite us to do investigations at the Gold Hill Hotel several times within the last year. And This picture was taken when Lisa went there with them this very last time. For some reason, Mark brought the Sally House clock and then the witch doll up to the Miners Lodge. So that's why we have this picture. But so I just wanted to clear that up. But I actually did hold the clock when we did investigation with Willow Paranormal last February.
Yes.
Again, in Gold Hill. So go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah. that clock is amazing. The energy when you're holding it it feels like electricity going through your body. It was just amazing. I did not mess with it that night. I did not use any of those objects to try to communicate. I just kind of just let them sit there.
That clock looks really heavy too. Looks like cast iron.
Yeah.
It's actually not very heavy, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It is definitely neat, and you can feel the energy from it.
Yeah, that doll just kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like that doll at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither do I. That was an amazing night, though. Had a great time. Tried out a lot of different equipment, trying to communicate with the spirits there. I know when I first investigated the miners' cabin, I think it was back in 2016. I did pick up on the name of William quite a few times when I was there in the first room, which is now considered room 18. He was angry, never picked up on a last name. And of course, there were, I think, 3 Williams that perished in this fire at the miners' cabin.
What's really cool about the miners' cabin or the miners' lodge is if you go around the outside of the building, you can actually see where some of the miners have written their name and dates on the outside of this building. And yeah, it's just wild.
That's amazing. I've never seen them.
Me either.
I guess that'll be another trip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I believe Jen is the one that took these photos, correct?
Yeah, so this picture right here is called the baby head. Jen Stubbs' dad took this picture when she was not part of the mystery gang, but she is now part of the mystery gang, so she wanted to share these pictures with you guys. She has submitted a few pictures here from the miners' cabin and submitted some details, which I will read to you guys. So this one she titles the creepy baby head. Here's her description of it. There's the creepy baby head. Only 3 of us there that night. We were getting a lot of activity from multiple male spirits. We were back in the room with the bed, and I heard shuffling in the kitchen area. Started to see shadow movement and using my full spectrum to try and capture. And that weird baby head showed up.
Yeah, I was going to say this looks like the kitchen area.
Yes.
It looks like a mask sitting there, like a baby head mask. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that again was submitted by Jen Stubbs' dad, who is now part of the mystery gang. So we thought we would put these pictures in as well. What do you think about that, Bri?
That was quite interesting because I had something which I've got a video of a little bit later on that was coming from the door area, which would have been the original entrance going towards the kitchen area. So I'll let y'all make what you, or let me know what you think of that when I show you that. This looks like it's going from the kitchen into the bathroom area, if I'm correct.
This one, trying to find her description of this one. Hang on. Okay. Hang on. Okay. So this one looks like a figure standing there. You can see where the door frame is blocked some night as the baby head. This goes towards the bedroom.
The back bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's going through the bathroom.
Yeah.
Chatters, let us know what you think of these pictures, please.
Yeah, I believe I had something caught. Well, I actually had something caught in the bathroom area also, but I didn't include that video. It was just a little too long to include.
Are you talking about the one with the little sign on the door?
Yeah, the sign on the door that was turning around. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that backed up on my computer somewhere, but so basically how it went was there was a do not disturb sign on the bathroom door, and while all of us were at the Silver Queen, right?
Yeah, there was no one in the building. I left all the DVR cameras running.
Yeah.
And the way the lodge is set up is the kitchen is separated from the back bedroom with the bathrooms, and there's a shower on either side and a lavatory on either side, and two doors to close. So it's kind of a walk-through bathroom. And the door closest to the kitchen, there was a do not disturb sign on it. And at one point, you start seeing it kind of lift up on the bottom side and start rocking.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turns one whole direction. And if it was wind, it would have basically stayed that way because it actually physically turned it on the doorknob, and then it turned back to the normal direction. And you could, at the whole time, you could see the bottom side of the sign lifting up and pulling away from the door. So,
yeah, that was very substantial. So this picture right here, again, another figure kind of standing there.
yeah, that's the one cabinet going by the kitchen. There's
Yep.
the dining room table is off to your left, and yeah.
Lori says, so much energy in that place. I contacted the male energy in kitchen, saw a tall shadow behind me. Also, someone moved one of the chairs at the table, like they got up when I broke contact.
Yeah, when we were there, we did catch, well, we did hear chairs moving. It's like when you pull a chair across a linoleum floor.
Look at this picture, guys.
This is a very amazing picture.
What do you think about that, Bri?
Yeah. the caretaker, when I was talking with him, and actually the lady at the check-in desk and everything, she said that one of the reports was that you would see shadow figures or apparitions going in and out of the locations of these mines, the mine entrances and stuff. And it would make perfectly sense that these people would be going to the mine to work, or getting off work and going to the miners' lodge to change and stuff. But then again, also the whole area uh, is interesting to the fact that not only are a lot of the buildings haunted, but you'll see shadow figures walking up and down the street, and apparitions on balconies overlooking the streets there in Virginia City. So, yeah, in Virginia City's heyday, I believe there were over, what was it? I'm trying to remember if it was 20,000 or 50,000 people in Virginia City. And at one time, it was the fastest growing city in Nevada.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to comment on this picture because of where it's been taken at. And I remember one time when we were doing an investigation, Tanis, your son, said that he had seen a shadow figure right close to where this has been taken at. And Jen's description of this photo is, so this was taken on the same night as the other pictures. It was about 4 a.m. and the other two ladies with me were asleep. I couldn't sleep and went outside. This picture is looking towards the miner's cabin. On the left side of the front door, you can see the figure wearing very high boots, which they wore in the mines, and energy coming off its head. It's all blackened and distorted. I was the only one outside or around when this was taken. I believe it was February.
Amazing.
Look at that is just freaking creepy, guys.
It is.
Look at the legs.
The fencing tells me that it was also close to the head end structure where the elevator would have been at. There are the entrance to the mine. Because I remember the propane tank being at the back side of the building away from the road. So that was the entrance to room 18 that she's talking about. So that would have been the closest to the structure, because I believe the foreman's room was 19.
Pretty creepy.
Yeah. So we're going to get into some videos now. The first video is 25 seconds.
Is this Lisa's videos?
Look, no. Okay, to give you a little idea of what's going on here, this was an investigation that we were doing. This is the bed in room 18. You can see the covers, and that lump right there is me asleep. And this is what the DVR camera caught. This strange little light anomaly, or whatever.
Whatever the tissue ghost, as we like to call it.
I call it my tissue ghost because it looks like a piece of tissue floating through the air. But what do y'all think it is?
That was that one investigation we did when we split up into teams, and we were investigating the lodge and then also the Silver Queen, right?
Right.
Very interesting.
Okay, the next video that we're going to show is 35 seconds. And transition, so. Okay, that was on the same investigation, and the two investigators were fixing to do an EVP session in the back bedroom, which would have been room 19. And they didn't see this little orb, but I thought it was quite interesting how it came up to the camera first and then followed the investigator over to no, Nikki, what I did is I actually slowed it down so you could actually kind of follow it and see its pattern that it was taking. So it followed the investigator opposite side of the room to where she went, and then cross over to where she was at. And then another one dropped down from the ceiling.
To me, what is really interesting about that orb is that later on, like a few years later, when I did an investigation with Willow Paranormal by myself, it was way before Lisa became part of the team. And I did a session by myself in that room. I kept picking up on an Edward by that window. And when I looked back and I found a link of a lot of the miners who were killed, an Edward did come up, whose body was never found. But there's something about that window, and every single time I do an investigation there, I am always very attracted to that window. And you can watch Lisa Emmy's like live videos. Every time we've gone there, I'm always very attracted to that window, and it goes over there.
That window actually looks out at the entrance to the mine. If you
Yep.
noticed.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the foreman would have looked to see what was going on the mine, the head end on that structure.
Yeah.
when I did the investigation there, because I actually spent the whole night there pretty much, we would get shadows or see movement in that back room, going back and forth across the doorway, and felt like we were being watched from that doorway every so often. When we would go back and do EVP sessions in that room or investigate in that room, we would hear things and see things move across the doorways in the far end of the building. Okay, the next one is 48 seconds.
There's more than one spirit in this room with us. Can you light up the REM pod that's on the bed all the way, all the colors all the way?
Wish. Quill. Present.
Why do you resent doing that?
Me. Lady. Tickle. Include.
By me, do you mean Walter?
Okay, Lisa, tell us what was going on in that one.
That one I'm not too sure about because I know I did a couple videos with the REM pod, and in one of the videos I know that when I was asking questions for it to light up, sometimes it would respond right afterwards. So that's what I was just trying to catch.
Okay, we'll go to the next one. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
I don't even remember which videos they were because I did take several of them. So
Interesting one to your question.
So here, this is probably one of the videos where I was
You,
asking
Mr.
questions
Walter?
and it was lighting up in response.
How old were you when you passed away?
Stay.
I know at a couple different times, Virgil and Mark were with me in that room.
Are you saying you stayed here?
Many.
And they were asking questions as
How
well.
many?
Dran.
Walter, can you light up the device on the bed, please?
Shine.
Walter, is your mistress in here? If so, light up the pod.
Elemental.
Is there someone else here other than Walter or the mistress? If so, can you light up one of the devices, please?
Did you perish of the fire?
Hum.
Gone silent.
And our last one is a minute 26.
Possible one will pop up.
Oh,
And
okay.
acquired means that it caught something.
Oh, okay, because there's one right next to the stove by the pizza.
Oh, maybe he's hungry. It's been a while.
And there's another one in the hallway.
There's only one more left.
Okay. You convinced me.
So this is Willow Paranormal's
It's
SLS
okay to come out and communicate with
camera
us.
that was has a Connect on it. It was my first time using it. But as you can see the stick figures. At this time, Virgil was actually holding this one, I believe. But you could see the stick figures, which are in the kitchen, kind of in the bathroom area, which seemed to be where
It looks like there's a shadow sitting in the
a lot of
toilet.
activity was.
Flush it, see if he disappears.
It's probably from Virgil. He didn't flush, probably.
I know.
Okay.
Were we able to hear Lisa's description while the video was playing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I heard it. I
I
heard
just
it.
went, I couldn't, but I have a lag, as always. So what do you guys think about that? What do you think about that, Lisa?
It's crazy. I'm really curious on how that equipment really works. Because, I don't have a lot of equipment. Just because I don't know, I don't always believe that it's accurate. A lot of people go off their equipment thinking that it's 100% accurate, and I'm a little more on the fence about it. I don't know. It's different. I enjoyed it, but
Well, I do know that Willow Paranormal, Mark and Virgil, definitely love to mess around with the SLS. And we do have Michelle LeBaron in here with us. Hi, Michelle. Maybe you can chime in, Michelle, about how you feel about the SLS. That was really cool because it almost seemed like it was a child floating there.
yeah, it seemed like towards the kitchen into the bathroom area, it seemed to pop up like 5 stick figures, I think, showed up at one time on the SLS camera. So I thought that was really interesting. I know that when Mark had the SLS camera on me, I apparently had someone standing to the right-hand side of me, which I was to the left of the mirror facing room 18. And when I reached over towards the mirror, the stick figure kind of bent down to like dodge me, from what Mark explained. I couldn't see them, but I definitely felt a lot of men in that area with us.
What do you think, Brian?
Well, that would kind of make sense because the men were minors, and that was basically their changing room and stuff. So you would have a lot of male figures in and out of that place all of the time.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have brought their ladies of the evening there. I think that would have been elsewhere in the brothels and stuff. But yeah, I think that there could have been a lot of things that gone on there. I mean, people don't always get along, so I'm sure there were fights there. I'm sure that some of the people felt slighted with how much they were getting paid in the mines for the work they were doing, and plus all the just the dangers of working in the mines. Back then, there wasn't OSHA around to handle safety in the mines. So, yeah.
You know, even some of the miners that didn't perish in the fire, they didn't want to suffocate. So some of them simply ended their life by jumping to end their life.
Yeah, because I don't think the elevator made it back up to the top, and they were down anywhere from 800 to 900 feet.
Yes.
And there was basically no real place for all that smoke to go. And I'm sure that it was extremely hot in that mine, because I've actually taken some of the tours there in Virginia City, and going in 200 feet into a mine, everything, it was nothing compared to what they were doing, and it was extremely hot in the mines there. And Reno is actually known for the geothermal plant right outside of just south of Reno.
Yes.
So there's lots of geothermal pools and stuff. So yeah. But there's a lot of history that has probably never been written down or talked about that's happened there in Virginia City. And then again, there's been lots of history that was written down. But what was really amazing about the whole area was when they had the Great Fire, 80% of the town burnt down to the ground, but there were no loss of lives during that fire. I found that absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Well, do we have any more video, or is that about it?
That's all we got. I do want to go ahead and put up some other pictures real quick. The first one is, well, this one here. I want to say thank you, our special thanks to the Gold Hill Hotel and Saloon. I love going there. I can't wait to get back to Nevada to go there again. And maybe this time I'll have dinner there. Another thank you is to Willow Paranormal Society. They are a great group of people. I haven't met Mark, but I have met Virgil, and he is one of the greatest guys I've ever met. He will give you the shirt off of his back to help you. And I know that when I was part of the mystery gang there in Reno, he would offer us use of his equipment, and he lent the mystery gang after I left when they did the Goldfield Hotel in Goldfield, Nevada. God, an extraordinary amount of equipment to do this investigation.
Yes.
And he is such a wonderful individual. If you ever get to Reno and everything, look up Willow Paranormal and friend him on Facebook and go out and have a coffee with this gentleman. He is such a wonderful guy.
Yes.
Virgil treats me like I'm one of his daughters. He's amazing. He's always checking up on me, always letting me use his equipment, whatever I need. He's there. He's amazing. And he's even, giving me like some snacks to take to my kids and just all kinds of stuff. And Mark, his brother, is also amazing as well. Mark is very invested in a lot of these locations and always involves the mystery gang on these investigations. In fact, I believe we're going to be going with him back to Gold Hill soon.
Oh, cool. Nice. Right. Nice. I know I actually met him when I was doing a VFW poppy drive. And we sat there, and it was out in front of a grocery store, I believe Smith's, up in on the northwest side of town. And we sat there, we talked about paranormal for, God, probably an hour. And he's such a wonderful individual, full of knowledge and stuff.
Yes, he's amazing. They're both amazing. I love them both. So, well, guys, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed everything we offered you tonight, from Virginia City and the Union Brewery and Ghost Adventures, all the way to Gold Hill, the hotel, the lodge, the miner's cabin, and everything. This is our last show for the year. So
Yeah.
I really hope you enjoyed it. But don't go away, because we do have a few things to talk about really, really quick. I want to announce really quick that we do have a trivia winner. Winner, chicken dinners, Justin Neville of Southern Paranormal Hunters. He won our trivia tonight. So I'm going to put his links here in the chat. Now, he won, so he is going to be honorary member of Haunting the Afterlife Radio group page for the next 2 weeks, which means he can post whenever he wants, as long as it's paranormal related. Right, Justin?
Yay!
Hang on.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, thank you, Justin. I'm still trying to get all of his links into the chat really quick.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and give a special thanks to Jen. Thank you for the amazing pictures that you let us put up and sent the explanations for. I can't wait to meet you and investigate with each and every one of you.
Jen is our pair sister, right, Lisa?
Absolutely. We love her.
We can't wait till she can come back here, and maybe we can go there and investigate with her and NC.
Yep.
Well, because she moved from Grass Valley to NC, and so, who knows what's going to happen. But she is part of the Mystery Gang now, so we love her. Our first experience with her, meeting her, was at Fort Churchill. But then we really got to know her when she invited us to go to Goldfield Hotel.
Yeah.
And that was
amazing.
Oh my God. That was when we really connected with her. So we love Jen so much. But so you can look in the chat and see Justin's links in there. He is our para brother. We love Justin Neville so much. He's been on our show tons of times. And like I said, he's our trivia winner. So check out his pages. He is amazing, full of integrity, just phenomenal man. Our next show, guys. So like I said, this is our last show for the year. But we're not going away. We're coming back in January. Our first show is going to be January 10th. Guess what, you guys? We're going to have someone from Ireland.
Oh,
Yay.
James.
Yep, James is going to be our first show of the new year in Ireland. We're going to learn
Yay,
all
James.
about the paranormal community in Ireland. Next year, we're going to have so many peeps talking about what their paranormal communities are like in other countries. We're going all the way to Ireland and even Germany. So, yeah, it's going to be a really crazy new year. But we're not going away. We're going to be still posting shows and maybe even trying to do watch parties while we're on break. So that way you guys can catch up on some of our older shows. So that's kind of my plan. I'm going to try to make that happen. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to try to download some of our shows, our live shows, and then have them play as watch parties. We'll see if that'll work out or not. It may, I don't really know. But before you go, I want to post some of our links, the Mr. Gang's links. So we've got our Mr. Gang page. Don't forget about that. Then we've got our group page, Mr. Gang group page, and then our Haunting the Afterlife Radio group page. So come and join the fun. I'm going to put those in chat really quick. Anything you guys want to say about our pages?
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to all the followers for the team page. We are over 11,000 followers. And 10,673 likes. So thank you guys for your support. It means a lot. Yeah, that's probably about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. And Lisa and I are going to be going live, I think, next week, right, Lisa, from the Mr. Gang page?
Yeah, we're going to have to do it soon. We finally we're able to find some more information on the ranch house in West Reno that we've had investigated a couple different times, and it is very interesting with some of the stuff that we found, and we'd like to share it with you.
Yeah, and I'm going to be making a documentary on that location.
I can't wait to hear about it.
It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited.
I'm excited. Yes, so am I. I'm like almost don't want to wait till next week.
So yeah, we'll be going live and we'll do another trivia, pick another trivia winner and mail you off a prize. So that's one thing that's coming up I think this week. So yeah, and Justin, yes, we will talk to you right after the show. He keeps saying we gotta call him.
Oh boy, tell him he better have Skype.
He does.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
so go ahead, Bri.
I just want to wish all of our listeners and our chatter and everything a very thankful Thanksgiving and a very, very Merry Christmas. This time of year, it's really, really kind of depressing for me due to the fact that I have lost some of my family members during the holiday season. I've lost my grandmother December 26th. I lost my stepfather on Halloween. So yeah, it's a tough time for me, and I just want to let you know that if you see someone that's having issues, always reach out that hand to them to find out if they're okay. And this is a tough time for a lot of people. I know that that Lisa is going through some tough times right now, and I wish her the best. And if you ever need to talk, Lisa, I am always here for you.
Thank you.
And yeah, so you people, the fans out there that love our show and love our group and everything, you are why we do this, and we love you all. And if any of you need that hand, just reach out to us and everything, and we'll be there for you.
Yes, yes. We are a family. Like Brian was saying, I lost my dad a few months ago, and it's been difficult. But if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for my Mystery Game family and all of our fans and followers and listeners and all of you guys, my para sisters, my para brothers, I wouldn't be functioning right now at all. So, yeah, don't forget us. We're not going away. We're still going to be here.
Oh, and Lori, yes, I would love to come out and do Placerville.
Yes.
I love that whole area there. We used to take trips every September to go to Apple Hill and get the apples and pears and berries. And yeah, I love Placerville. Such a gorgeous place.
All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap, guys. Don't forget us.
Yep.
We'll be back in just a few months. And like I said, we'll be sharing our past live shows we've done over the year with you guys on our Haunting the Afterlife group page, either once every Friday or every other Friday, depending on how it works out. But we will still be there. And love and light, everybody, and peace.
Love you guys.